Hello, everybody. I'm trying something new. I'm lonely during the day. So, anyway, my name's Brandy. I'm disabled. I can't walk very good. I have to use a cane or just to get to my scooter. I have to lose weight or I'm going to get weight loss surgery. And then I'm going to get a new hip. Um, but anyway, I figured I'll make some YouTube videos and see if I can connect to people and say hi and, maybe share information with people who could be going through the same thing I'm going through or, vice versa. Keep in mind, I'm new to this. I know nothing about editing or anything like that. So please forgive me. Um, but anyway, like I said, my name's Brandy. I'm married. I've been married for 19 years. Well, will be 19 in August. Dating for 20. Um, I have 5 adult children, and they are awesome, ranging from 21 to soon to be 27. I have 5 gorgeous little grandbabies, from 1 to, what is he, 8 now, I think. So, 8 or 9? 8. Yeah. The 2 older boys, they're into sports. The 3 younger ones aren't old enough yet, but they're little stair steps, the 3 younger ones. So I have 2 granddaughters and 3 grandsons. I have 4 daughters and 1 son. My son is right in the middle. Uh, my oldest daughter has 3 children. She's married. My second oldest daughter, she she's got her partner. He's a great person. Um, they live up in Rhode Island. My oldest daughter, lives in Kansas by me. But my second oldest, she lives up in Rhode Island, and she does stuff for the government. She graduated from one big college and got her bachelor's there, and now she's getting her master's from Brown. So very proud of her. My son, he lives in Oklahoma. He's a high functioning autistic, so he can live on his own. He lives with a roommate. He's like a night manager at Pizza Hut. And so, very proud of him for succeeding. He's also got epilepsy. Um, but anyway, very proud of him. My next oldest, or I guess second youngest, she is a mom of 2. Um, she's got a boyfriend that's in the military. Um, and she lives in the same town as me as well. And then my youngest daughter is the 21-year-old. She lives in the same town too. Matter of fact, her and her sister live together. Um, and they both work with special need kids. Very proud of them. Um, my oldest daughter used to do it too, but now she's working for an insurance company. But I am so very proud of all 5 of my kids. They're awesome. We butt heads a lot, but I'd give my life for them. They're everything. Um, my husband, he's hardworking. He's a wonderful man. Um, they're not his biological children, but he's raised them since the youngest was under a year old, and he's raised them as his own. They butt heads with him a lot too. or I guess a lot. They had that whole stereo thing growing up, you're not my dad. But anyway, that's a whole different story. Um, Never had a lot of money. Have struggled. I don't know how to budget. I've tried for years. Um, so now I just pretty much just leave everything up to my husband, except for when I pay the bills out of my disability check. That's all I get for income. Um, I don't know. Um, I was a CNA for 25 years. Loved it. I even at one point worked at a company working with disabled people. Loved it. And then I worked at a high school working in a room with one-on-one with disabled people. And then I worked in the health rooms at the different schools. And then I was a traveling nurse tech. And then when my hip finally told me no more, I tried something completely different and went into sales and worked for Celebrity Cruises. Loved it. Um, it was one of the best jobs I'd ever had in my entire life. So shout out to Celebrity. Um, but I had to give that up because it was hard to sit for, you know, 12 hours on my hip. Plus, I was taking or am taking, high doses of pain meds. And so I would blank out or just forget things and not realize I was on a call. So I had to leave my position. Um, so now I'm stuck at home by myself with 2 dogs all day. I can't get out and go do anything because it hurts too bad. I normally only get out if I'm going to a doctor's appointment or somewhere with my husband. Every once in a blue moon, one of my kids, will go do something with me. But that's another story. Um, so yeah, I'm lonely, depressed, but that's okay. I'm in the process of trying to get everything set up and approved for weight loss. I'm going to get the gastric bypass done, so ruin why. So at home during the day, I have my 2 dogs, Oakley and Larry. He's Lab Pit. She's Lab St. Bernard and Pitt. I watch a lot of K dramas and BL dramas from um, Asian cultures like Korea, Chinese, Japanese, Thai, um, and so on. Love them. Huge K-pop fan. J-pop, C-pop, T-pop, all that. Um, my youngest daughter, got me started on that. I mean, I already knew who one Asian group was, which is obviously BTS. Everybody knows them. But she got me hooked on all the other artists and all the new ones coming out, and then the shows and so on and so forth. Um, I grew up in Oklahoma, born in Kansas, but grew up in Oklahoma. And then my husband was from Kansas. We lived in Oklahoma for a while, but then we moved back to Kansas because of jobs. Um, so now we've been here since 2007. Um, but like I said, I need a new hip. And so now I'm looking for things to do. I make little bead bracelets in my spare time. Let's see what else. I don't know. I just wander around, do things around the house. So in my different videos that I'm going to post, I'm going to probably post different things here and there, me doing different things, me just cruising on my scooter around the house. And people will probably say, well, why don't you get out? You got a scooter. Well, I don't have a ramp. I have a rental home, and, well, we just can't afford to have a ramp put in. We are trying to move eventually, but it's like a 70s style trailer house, a little bitty one, that needs a lot of work. Oh, Lord, does it need a lot of work. And my husband's been trying to do it all by himself, but he has 2 bad shoulders, and so he can't hardly lift his arms above his head. But right now he's trying to redo all the plumbing in the trailer. And I don't know, when that might be done. There's flooring issues. We don't even know if the floor is going to hold my scooter. My scooter won't even make it down the hallways. It's so narrow. Or into the bathroom or the bedroom. So I'm just going to have to park my scooter probably in the dining room and use my walker and try and get down the hallway, which my walker barely fits down the hall. Barely fits through the doors. I guess that it's an old trailer, so. I do have to I just have to get better with my life. It sucks. Oh, and if you're wondering, like, you'll see bumps everywhere or redness or discoloredness. Well, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, so PTOS, and so I have facial hair, unfortunately, so I'm having it slowly but laser removed every 6 weeks, so hopefully eventually it'll quit growing in. It's humiliating, it's embarrassing. I just hate it. I know it's part of one of the symptoms, but it's not much I can do about it. Sorry, y'all, I got a bump on my nose and it's driving me crazy. I'll just be glad for the day that I don't ever have to shave again. That'll be awesome. And then get rid of this neck here. Big old blub, 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 blub. I used to work out before my hip got bad. I did a 5K. I did 2 5Ks. I was walking, running, just, trying to lose weight and everything. But my hip would mess up so bad, and then I couldn't do it anymore. I'd been athletic my whole life. I did sports, elementary all the way through high school. Did gymnastics. I did track, basketball, softball. Just enjoyed it all. And then in high school, I also did sports medicine training. And then my dad got sick, and we had to move to my mom's hometown, little bitty country town, because I lived in a town named Owasso down by Tulsa, and I had a scholarship to go to OU for sports medicine. But when I moved to Newkirk, to my mom's hometown, they didn't have sports medicine, and so the sports doctor that they had, if he would agree to have taken me on and to let me finish out, 1.5 years of school, then I could have kept my scholarship. But he said no. So I tried to go to the neighboring town, Ponca, and go to school there. But at the time, they didn't allow transfers, and I didn't have any family that I could use their address. So I lost my scholarship. And then my life kind of went bloop, 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 bloop after that. I gave up, didn't care about school anymore, barely passed high school. I just got bored. I went from a big 6A school with straight A's to a little 1A school with C's and B's and could care less about anything. They didn't even have, when I went to school there, or transferred, they didn't have regular full court basketball for girls. They had half court, 3-on-3. Their track was dirt. It wasn't even blacktopped yet. They didn't even have softball. And finally, right before my senior year, they finally got softball for the first time. And they finally got basketball. But by the time my senior year started and all this was going on, I didn't have the love for it anymore because my compassion was to do sports medicine. So I thought, okay, well, I'll try and continue anyway. So I was like, oh, I'll go to the Army, and then when I get out, I'll do college and get my sports medicine degree. Well, birth control don't mean anything. One night, that was all it took. And I got pregnant my senior year. And kind of went down from there. Bad relationship with the father. So my whole senior year, it was just horrible. I didn't go to prom because nobody wanted to be around a pregnant girl. And then the polycystic stuff kicked into overdrive because of the hormones from being pregnant, which then started really causing the facial hair. And so everybody started calling me a he, she, and bullying me and making fun of me. And, and then, of course, they were like, oh, you're not really pregnant. You're lying. You're just fat. And you're just trying to, keep the boy and manipulate him and lie and blah, blah, blah. I even showed them ultrasounds. And they were like, oh, that's probably fake. I mean, it was so much drama crap. But once I had the baby, he showed up to the hospital. I had her early. She was a preemie. She was 310. He showed up to the hospital trying to act like a innocent young man. He was like, oh, that's my baby girl. And I was like, don't play that crap with me. You wanted nothing to do with me for 7 months. So, you allowed your mother to slap me when I was pregnant. This family was supposedly all holy rollers. And everything was God this, God that. But yet they wanted me to get an abortion. They told me, especially his mother, her exact words was, I was a self-centered bitch. And I didn't care about her son's future. I only thought of myself by keeping the baby. And then she slapped me. And he did nothing about it. I didn't cry. I got furious. But I just stood there shaking. My friend, she grabbed me and we left. I wanted to hit her so bad. But she was an elder. So out of respect for an elder, I did not touch her. But the whole family was against me. Called me lying, saying it wasn't his kid. And we had dated for a year. Saying that I cheated and I was a slut and I was this and I was that. And so, needless to say, I went through the whole, I only made it 7 months, but either way, went through the pregnancy by myself. I did have 2 best friends that were awesome. But I had her. She was a little over a year old. They wanted a DNA test. So I was like, fine. Went and took a DNA test. She was 99.999999% his. And they were like, oh, she's our grandchild. She's your daughter. So all of a sudden she becomes their pride and joy, the best thing that ever happened to them. After they wanted me to kill her. And yes, that's what I think abortion is killing. It's a murder. So here these so-called Christians wanted me to murder my daughter. But once she was over a year old and we had a DNA test done, all of a sudden she was the best thing in the world. So, hypocrite is what I get from that. Sorry, I have a lot of pent-up anger and hate, and this might also be my therapy. Blogging or voguing or whatever they call it. So, anyway, I hope you all will like, subscribe, share. I'll try and post daily or a couple times a week, but I would like to get to know everybody. But yeah, that's just the beginning of my story. I hope everybody has a wonderful, blessed day. Stay healthy, mentally and physically. Mental health is a big thing. So yeah, this does feel good to get to talk. Peace. Love you guys.